Yo, what's up guys? Back with the beginner series. You did already see the video yesterday, and I am a bit levels higher right now. I'm 42. I was 29 yesterday on that last video, which was actually 2 days ago. What I've been doing yesterday is pretty much AFK farming. And what does AFK farming mean? Well, pretty much mindlessly just clearing all kinds of content, and we leveled up a whole bunch of units for R5, such as the Tarq. Also did do a whole bunch of 2As. So we have the Tarq 2A, Colleen 2A, Serum we already had 2A, we made a Crow 2A, and I think we did one more 2A somewhere. No, I think that these are it for 2As. We also leveled a whole bunch of units, as you can see. We also pulled a few more net 5s. We pulled the Tiana, which is a pretty interesting one right there. This one was, I think, already shown. Yeah, that one was supposedly already shown. Same for that one. And I think in the storage we have one or two more that we pulled. Yeah, we pulled a Solvark and we pulled a Zibala. So those are the net 5s that we pulled thus far. Pretty lucky on the rates, I would say, because we did like 800, so, or the worth of 800 scrolls. It's not necessarily really 800 scrolls, because if you do a, I think if you do a Transcendent scroll, it counts as like 100 right away. So that's kind of there. We did not actually use any runes. We did not far or like upgrade any runes just yet. We will do that during this stream. All of these runes are the runes whatever I farmed during the AFK farming. So I was just simply AFK farming with the exact same team that I showcased in the previous one, and that run pretty much all the time, never failed, super chill. So that is pretty much the recap of what's going on. Then the thing is, plan for today, which is going to be R5. And I would like to get R5 to a sub 40 seconds so we can scout battle that even faster. That would be really nice. I think I also want to start getting into SF/PC, because I would like to scout battle at least one day of SF and one day of PC, because scout battling just simply gives a lot of stuff in there, and that will give me good artifacts for quite a while if I have those in there. I did also pick up one unit that I do really want for SF. I did not level it just yet. And for PC, you're not going to use it, but for R5 and for SF, definitely will be used over there. We did also get this one, which, let's see where we do want to send this. We kind of have to send it on this one, right? There's no other way than sending it on this one. Sack it right away, plus 15, let's go. Would be best rune on... That's very high rolled, but very fuckerino whatever. But will definitely be used, I guess. So that is pretty much the plan for today, trying to get those in. I did not really work much more on the Summoner's Way or on anything like this related. So we're kind of, this one is already done. We can remove that. This one is done. We can already move that. I guess that we will be doing it like this and Scout Battle maxing. I think we're going to be tracking off Necro, well, how fast we can do the runs. But I think we start tracking that the moment we actually have something sub 40 seconds. So that's pretty much what it is. So let's see how far we get today. We just did R5, but let me tell you what I would recommend for y'all guys to do if you're watching this and you're doing beginner series. I would highly recommend to do either one of two things. Idea that I recommend the most is going to be going for level 50 first, because with level 50, I just noticed it where I upped the defense by 10% that I did not do just yet. You will get an insane amount of stats over here. And you want to go for the speed, crit damage, attack, defense, NHP, and firepower. If you get that towards level 50, I'm 100% sure that I will be running this all the way to 30 without any issues. But I need level 50 for that, so that's a few more days away, and you just get that through playing more. That's just a simple fact to it. Option number 2 that you could do is you could make a scout battle for your R4 for one day. So you will go for R4, you scout battle this, and then you will do scout battle on this for a day. You will get some grinds, upgrades to actually make your team, and then you will help that as well. That's definitely a thing, because I'm pretty sure right now, I just want to see if we grab the rewards from now. I don't think that I can already do the scout battling on this. Now, since I did not do a full 30, you can't do it just yet. So if I would leave it be with RNG, I will probably get there, but it would waste some energy. But I'm pretty sure with good enough RNG. Yo, the run. Wait, we're at 30? Please tell me that you're Death Break it. Yes. Yes. Wait, are we actually going to clear 30? Because if we clear 30, I don't have to do any R5. I can just scout battle R5. That's the gangster thing about this. Because you only have to clear it once. what is my average gonna be? Because the average is actually pretty close to sub 40 seconds as well. 43 seconds average of 30. Boys, we did it. 3 days all that count. It is by the luck of the try though. This is definitely not gonna work for everyone, but on level 50, I'm 100% sure this would run all the time. But since I already did this, this is unlocked. 43 seconds. We can now do 210 runs for free. This is such a cheat code, man. You only have to run it once. And we're actually pretty close with the current setup. If we were to do the current setup at level 50, I'm 100% sure that we would run it all the way to the end. So let's look individually at all of the runes. Starting off with the left team, as I mentioned, I think you have to be below 190 speed, but I simply couldn't make it on the right things that I want. It is not a need to have this on violent. Any set will do, but I just happen to have like fire runes that kind of made it the fastest unit out there. Artifact-wise, any of the artifacts are just placed fully at random. Any of those things are also just placed at random. You could make the argument that an HP one for the tanks are a lot better, but I just placed artifacts and the relics at random kind of style. This one also happened to be Vio just by the Vio free sets that you get. You want to aim 15 accuracy by minimum on the things that do want to land a defense break or any kind of debuff, but you don't need more than that. Then we have the Tarq. Also, I tried to get as many will runes on everything. You will definitely see over here if we're looking by how many will runes I have and how many I'm using. Especially in the slot 2, the slot 4s and the slot 6s. I'm using almost every will rune I have. I also crafted a bunch just for like filler stuff. I will sell those later. But yeah, it is definitely pretty the depth on the will runes. But will runes make it a lot easier to not get debuffed by the boss right away, and that just gets your way in there. So this one, the Fatal set. Crit rate is not that much needed on the fire units because we got the 19 and the 23 in there, and I do really recommend you to run that as well. But then for the units that don't have that, you want to go for higher crit rate on it, and then for the units that are fire, you can want to go lower crit rate. Then we have the Gora team. This is the one I would recommend to just check the sheet itself, but just going over the runes itself. Tanky plus will, tanky plus will, tanky plus will, and then tanky, or not tanky at all, plus will, and then a few fight sets that I crafted. This one, kind of semi-tanky-ish, whatever. And then this thing is where you put your best damage set that you currently have in any kind of shape or way. And these are pretty horrendously... Oh, I should actually upgrade this one. That gives me a little bit more chance for surviving. Did not do that. Also, for most of the runes, should you plus 15 them, I would plus 15 them on your damage dealers on the slot 1. I would plus 15 the 2, 4, 6s. And then maybe if your frontliners, in the case of, for example, your Lulu dies to fast front, then you could upgrade the 3 and 5. But I would not upgrade all of them full on because a lot of these runes will probably be easily replaced very soon. Then we have the Ayunu, also damage set, but then kind of squished because he wants to die and then get the damage in on the boss. This thing, semi-tanky set, it's not even that tanky. That's where I run out of will runes, so I just have to go whatever. Also, I kind of run out of things that make sense on the slot 4, so I just go crit damage in there, even though you don't have any crit rate, but it's just something. You, same thing. And then you have, once again, well, actually, I could lower your crit rate by a lot. I don't need this kind of crit rate, but I use the third other places, so then it's kind of nice. This thing is also one of those versions of like, okay, at some point you just run out of runes and you just use whatever. So definitely don't have great runes on all of them. But also let's look at some replacements, because definitely a few people will be like, oh, I don't have this unit, I don't have that unit. Definitely on the fire side are more interesting because you do have your fire crit rate already. This one is great for both healing and defense breaking. So on the right team, I would definitely like to use a Hwahi, the Fire Skydancer. She's absolutely great for that. Lisa, which is the Neostone agent, is really good for frontline because she has a team up and also does provide cleansing and now also heals. Did not even notice she heals. But she's really good for one of your frontline teams in there as well. I was thinking of another unit that's crazy good. Can't find her. Yep, over here. The Sylphid Freya is really good. You want to put her at level 1, very low HP, that she dies. So the first hit that you get, she will immediately die and she will cleanse off the whole team. And that will remove the whole need for will runes. So she has to be a will runes, but anything else doesn't need any will runes because of it. And that makes things very, very easy, but I don't have her. Another crazy good damage dealer is this guy. This guy will also have 30 crit rate in here and 30 crit rate in there. So you only have to build super low crit rate on him because he gets guaranteed crit in there, and he has a lot of damage due to his passive. So super, super strong single target damage dealer. And I think that's about it for fire. You could go for a Shaina in combination with like a Sabrina or something. It's pretty strong too. If we go to the other elements, I would focus more on fire because you have your Bill, you have your Hua, you have your Astar. Those units are all fire, so you have your Rogue. There's already a lot of fire damage dealers out there. This thing is pretty decent, does have defense break and does have extra damage based on harmful effects, and you're dropping a lot of harmful effects, so it's not a bad unit. I do have it, but I decided not to throw it in. Both of the twins are good for damage dealers over here, but well, I would say she also provides a attack break, which is kind of nice. They do provide defense break as well, but if I would go for her, I would prefer to put up with a Shaina, and I don't have a Shaina, so therefore I don't use it over here. Let's look at Wind. Oh, this one actually, some people did mention that Monk would be pretty interesting as well. Mainly for having a defense break on the S2, but also having a shield and attack buff on the S3, which apparently is decent for it. I'm not sure how his AI is, if he does always do that skill or not, so that's not too sure about that. I use this Crossfeld, but any of the other units I just mentioned could replace the Crossfeld, of course. Ayunu, same thing. Any of those units that I just mentioned could replace the Ayunu. So those are kind of options out there, and then Wind doesn't have all too much that I would say would be nice. Are there any 2As? Naomi 2A is also a damage dealer that could replace any damage dealer of any of those kind of shape or way of units. Any of the other units, not too much for damage dealers, I would say, on this side. Mina could kind of do it as well, but most of the time is a little bit too fast where it becomes not as interesting. Making your Lulu 2A does provide quite a bit more, so that is a nice thing that you could do, but I haven't done as of yet. And then you could go for like a Spectra if you already have it ruined or already have it built. Then you could go for these kind of units, but the units that I just mentioned on fire earlier, like the Lisa, like the Huahi, like the Jean, Shihua is also really good. Also the counterpart of Shihua, the Arang, really good unit as well for this. So those are all of the replacements that I would recommend people to place anywhere. And therefore it's not really specific. It's like, oh, use exactly the team that I use. No, like this one could be replaced by the Lisa or like a Freya or any of those kind of things. And if you have a Freya, you don't even need the Lulu, and you can go for a different unit in there altogether. Previous video I made that you can also check out just to have a different idea of units that could be used. I also used a Drunken Master in that one. That one was on the 2025 beginner series. I did do it at level 55 at that time, but I also did it completely without fight runes, without grinds, without anything. So if you, after this video, still need a little bit more references of different kind of teams that you can use, can check that out. I would absolutely recommend to build a Tarq. Tarq is a new one for this year, and he's really good because of he always going for a branding potential hit because of the team up being a brand. So that's just a super nice thing to get brand guaranteed in there. And then you can also, if you want, follow different R5 guides that have just more R5 or like net 5 units in there that could be really good, such as a Liam in the second wave, or such as a Fire Ken, which is also known as the Bayonetta or something like that. So there's a lot of good units out there, so it's not specific. You have to use these teams. I would say this team in the middle, be specific, use this. You can replace this one for a lot of other things. Could even be a damage fluffer in there towards the end as well. Those options are all totally fine. But I have this one. If you don't have that one, I would probably just have went for this. And then in this slot, I would have probably done the Astar in there, and then on this slot I find something else that is a damage dealer that I just mentioned. So there's a lot of different things that you could replace things for. I could do Scout Battle right now on this tonight for getting a little bit better stuff in. That is definitely an option. And then I would try to upgrade my Necro team. So I think I will be farming more Necro myself. And then it's trying to get my Necro team to a faster run. I probably would need the skill up for the Shaman on that. And then also maybe skill ups on the Rogue and the Serum would help for that as well. And then level 50, and then I can make that faster as well, and therefore I can do more Scout Battles in Necro. But maxing out Necro for Scout Battling is pretty hard. So there's actually a 20 run difference between this one and the one I do have over here. But I did notice that there are a few different steps in between. So 220 is the max without the daily pack. But if I go sub 1 minute, it is going to be 200. If I go sub 50 seconds, it's going to be 210, I think. And then sub 40 seconds is going to be the 220, which is the highest that you can get. So getting the max on that is definitely nice because it's just like 3 runs in for the exact same amount of energy, which is really nice. But yeah, that's cool. We're done with Necro, boys. So guys, thanks a lot for watching for this video. And see you as always in the next one. Did I say Necro? R5. We have to do more Necro. But we also have to do more everything. That's about it. Just keep on farming, boys. Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab for the guide video archive, which contains all of the guides that you might need. Hope to see you there.